Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card, we are taking a look at what guidance your spirit guides have for you. So I have 3 crystals for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Bumblebee Jasper. Pile number 2 is, oh goodness, that is the Malachite. Pile number 3 is the amethyst. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamps. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what guidance and messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So you guys chose the Bumblebee Jasper. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. I do want to say before I even put the cards down, when I was tapping into you guys as collective, I kept being shown a really large anchor. It was almost like it was in front of me. And I felt the need to kind of like grab onto it, and then it was like the anchor was being lowered down to the ground, and I almost felt like I was being immersed then in like cool, I guess because you'd be under the water, but there was just this reference of I felt like I was being immersed in like a really cool watery kind of healing energy, I guess, but it was kind of grounding me, or it was like centering me. I don't know how that's going to pertain to the reading, but that was like a symbolism that I was shown, but we'll see as we get in. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. I don't know if you guys have had a gush of energy recently, or something's come into fruition, or I feel like everything's speeding up. I'm being shown like a lot of energy. Like I feel in my body there's a lot of energy, and I feel like I've got a lot of ideas of where I want to go. It could be the other way, where some of you guys are feeling just really overwhelmed, like there's a lot of things that I want to do and I want to get them done. But I keep being shown energies are ushering in now to support something here in the physical, to bring something in the physical. But there's a reference to get accustomed to the frequencies that are coming through. And you know, like I was being shown the anchor and it was slowly going down. It wasn't just being chucked down. It was like slowly going down. There's almost a reference to like pace yourselves, and take your time. Like I'm being shown, I don't know, do you know Stretch Armstrong, where you like stretch him? There's a reference of like making something stretch, like having this energy and looking like forward, thinking over the next 6 months, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? And it's almost like focusing on where I want these little trinklets of energy going, because I feel over the next 6 to 7 months, I just keep being shown shoots of energy and just like a lot of energy. It kind of feels like an upgrade, but this doesn't feel like it's pertaining to I'm going on a spiritual awakening and I'm going on this upgrade spiritually. It doesn't feel like that. It's almost like there's coding or something waking up energetically that's bringing you into the physical and having things manifest into the physical, or they're like little ideas for you to plant into the physical. So there's a reference to really like take heed of this energy, maybe get into meditative state and really map out. There's a reference of mapping out and stretching out where you want this energy to go over the next couple of months. There's something about the next 6 to 7 months. It's almost like a highlight, which is making me think of like a doorway. So it's like, where do we want to go in that time period? I almost feel like something's open. I guess maybe the eclipse energies. I mean, this video is literally going up on the day of the solar eclipse. So yeah, it could be that could be what I'm being shown actually, but it's almost like a doorway is open and there's just lots of energy here. I feel like there's a lot and I want to put it into the physical. I want to take heed of it, you know. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile 1, please, spirit guides. We have the Page of Thoughts. Guidance from pile number 1's spirit guides, please. 2 of Wheels. Guidance from pile number 1's spirit guides, please. 7 of Wands. Guidance from pile number 1's spirit guides, please. Guidance from pile number 1's spirit guides. One more card, please, spirit guides. Guidance. 3 of Pentacles. And the back of the deck you have Justice. Okay. So straight away with the Justice card being at the back of the deck, and then I'm seeing the Two of Fields, it almost feels like when I'm looking at the spread of cards, it energetically feels highlighted to me. That's making me think of a rite of passage. That's making me think of like a mirror and stepping through to something. That's making me think of energy that I'm putting into something. I'm having that return in investment. So if you guys have been doing some sort of like inner work or shadow work, it's almost like those upgrades, the other tail side of it, the awakening of like newer energies and frequencies within yourself. I see them sprouting over the next couple of months, and because they're sprouting into your conscious reality, into your present reality, there's this feeling then of, now we need to take heed of this. You know, when something's brand new and it's fresh and you want to use it, you know, like when you'd wake up on Christmas Day as a kid and you have that new gift, and even if you get bored of it in a couple of months, like that first month or two, or even on Christmas Day, it's like the best thing ever. Like you get super excited. When anything is new, when anything is ripe, when anything is fresh, that's usually when it's at its most heightened, right? That's when it's at its highest energy. That's when it's the most vulnerable and open. So there's something about these energies that are awakening within you right now. There's a reference. I almost feel like I want to grab onto it and kind of like morph it. I want to plant it. I want to plant a seed. I want to grow with it. I see some of you guys, do you know what I feel like? I literally feel like I'm scattered. Like there's not one thing that I want to do. Everything's in front of me. I'm literally being shown like a colourful rainbow of like different kind of ribbons in front of me, and it's like I don't know which one to grab. And that's where you're being called to really, really center and ground yourself right now. And I almost feel like I'm looking again at the next 6 to 7 months, and I'm going, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? Which ribbon is the best to pull on right now and pull my energy into? And it's almost like I'm taking my time and I'm almost braiding these ribbons together to create what it is that I want in the next 6 to 7 months. I hope that makes sense. Because there's a reference of pacing yourself right now, because I just feel like everything's fast. I feel like everything that's coming in is fast. It's taken me a minute to kind of not necessarily channel, it's coming through really strong, but it's like I feel like there's so many messages coming through. It's even hard for me to sit and ground and be like, whoa, one at a time. I hope that makes sense. Like I just feel like there's loads of ideas in my brain with this page of thoughts. A lot of like, it's almost like little like manifestations are coming in for me too, and it's like, wow, this is here, wow, this is here. But there's a reference of looking at the big picture. Like some of you guys could be having money coming through, and be having, you know, your money going up. Some of you guys, if you know, have social media or you want to make content on social media, there's a reference of that blowing up quite quickly. Again, career wise, if you have like your own company and you're, you know, selling things online. I keep feeling like I'm getting brain fog because I've got like all these ideas. There's a reference of that speeding up. This feels very like career and financial and the 3D. So there's a reference of, instead of getting to, I'm not saying don't play with a new toy on Christmas, but it's almost like take a look at like the next 6 to 7 months of where you want to be, and while these little things are coming in, because I see abundance coming in with the Justice card, it's really strongly coming through to me like return of investment. That's how it's coming through with the Two of Cups as well. It's like I've poured into this situation, it's pouring back to me. But it's like, remember, we're building a castle. Yes, the new couch came, and yes, the new light fixture came, and yes, I have new, you know, carpets, rugs, wooden flooring or whatever, but it's like the castle isn't even built yet. Let's not try and install that. I know we're excited, but let's take our time. So there's a reference of biding your time, and like I said with the stretch Armstrong thing, there's almost this reference of like stretching something out. So say now you guys are getting like a bunch of money. I know sometimes when we get like a loads of money, it's like I want to buy this and I want to buy that, but there's this reference of, where do I want to be in 6 or 7 months, and what could I put this money towards? What I need to save it, or could I put it towards this? Could I put it towards that? There's a lot of that coming through. It's almost like I'm downloading a new blueprint. It's like I'm downloading like a new world almost, and it's like I'm kind of excited because it's like I'm trying to think of like a game or like an analogy, because normally it comes to me, but I've got so much going on in my head in this energy that it's like a whirlwind, and I'm struggling to like get the analogies there. I hope that makes sense. But say now you had like a video game or something and you had to build a house. I don't know if there's games out there that can do that. I know The Sims, you do stuff. I've never played The Sims, so I don't know. So say now you've got this video game and you're building a house, and now you're getting like the downloads coming through. So all the new layouts you can have, all the new like walls, the colors, the paintings, the ornaments, the furniture, all of that's being downloaded, and it's like 10%, 20%, and you can see it all. You're getting glimpses of all the things downloading. There's a reference of like, while this is downloading and it's coming in and it's there, instead of getting excited and being like, I'm going to purchase this and I'm going to do this, it's like, let's envision, let's get a mood board sorted, or let's get a map sorted. What are they called? Spider maps? They're called spider maps, brainstorm maps. You know what I'm on about. When you have the cloud in the middle and then the lines coming off it. I forgot what they're called. Brainstorms? Spider map? I don't know. I used to call them spider maps, but I'm not sure. So there's a reference of doing that and being like, okay, this money needs to go here, or my energy needs to really focus on this social media outlet right now, or my energy all this energy that I've got needs to be going towards this course right now, or focusing on this, or I need to have my head down in the gym, or I need to have this here or that here. And I'm being shown the stretch Armstrong. I can literally feel it. I feel like I'm stretching something out, so that all that energy that's coming through now is going to last, you know? We've got all those Easter eggs. Yes, we want to eat them today, but if we eat them all today, as fun as it would be, what about tomorrow and the day after and whatever? But if we have an egg like every couple of days, we can make it last. And if we have those extra eggs, we might, you know, head back to school or head back to wherever we are, and somebody could have an egg that we like and we could trade. And then it could be even better for me, you know, because we're trading it then. So it's like, I'm thinking of all the possibilities of where I can go and where this can go, instead of just like, this energy is coming in hot and heavy and I'm just going to burn it out now. So there's a reference of anchoring, rooting down, and taking our time with where our energy is going, or where we're putting our time, our effort, our money. There's a big reference with money. I don't know if you started having money coming in. If you haven't, I feel like it will. Make sure you're maybe getting like a finance sheet, seeing where your money's going. We really want to plan, we really want to root. That's a really strong message. I feel like there's a lot of shift or a lot of growth in a specific area of your life in the next couple of months physically. This doesn't feel spiritually, energetically, it's just the gush of energy coming into the physical. And I feel like the reason I keep wanting to say it doesn't feel spiritual, it feels more physical, is because you might have been on a bit of a solo journey for some time, a spiritual journey for some time. Maybe you've been reaping what you sow, maybe you've been energetically doing clearing, maybe you've been doing things behind the scenes, getting yourself right within. There's such a reference of like, okay, now it's coming in the physical, so we're wanting to balance it, you know. That's what I'm being shown here. Yeah, 100%. Why do we have the 7 of Wands? Stepping out of the comfort zone. Sorry, not sorry. Engagement photos, making a choice. Sorry, not sorry. Stepping out of the comfort zone. I keep being shown a river, and it's almost like I've been given 5 big boulders to get across the river. These big boulders are whatever it is that's coming in. Ideas, big career moves, social media blowing up, finances, whatever it is. They're coming in and they're showing me 5 boulders. I know I want to get across this river. That's the idea. That's where I want to be in 6 or 7 months' time. At the end of this river, I've got 5 boulders. Where am I going to place these? Like, where am I going to pop them to get across? So it's like, instead of just chucking all 5 in, we don't know how the currents are going to be. We don't know if the water is going to rise up and rise down. We don't know if the shape of the river is going to shift. Let's just put the 1 in now, pop the rock in, step onto it, hold on to the other 4, and then wait and see how the river goes, how much of a jump can you take, how is the river forming. And then it's like, okay, I know I can jump this long and I know I can do this, so now I'm going to put the second rock down, the second boulder down, and now I'm going to jump here. And it's like doing it one by one, so that the end goal, which is getting out of that river, which they're referencing river, of course, water going down a river, it's a transitional period. Nothing is concrete. Energy is just flooding in. The same way that waters and rivers, they stream into the ocean. It's a rite of passage. So you're going through a rite of passage, that's why it's the river. And these boulders are these physical things coming in to support you, to get you to the other phase. Interesting. So you're in a very time, which is why there's such a focus on rooting yourself in, because with Spirit even showing me boulders to get across the river and not bridges or anything like that, boulders and rocks that, you know, the the oldest pieces of Mother Gaia there is, and they're so rooted into the earth. They're the most condensed 3D, you know, object on earth, if you will. So they're really, really rooted into this physical and really, really connected to the root chakra. So that's why there's this reference of really rooting in before we're making these big decisions, before we're making these jumps, and we're doing it one step at a time instead of kind of getting out ahead of ourselves, chucking the 5 rocks in, and then we jump in, and we've got too much of a gap to get there, you know? So it's like we want to pace, because then we're going to have to jump in, swim against the tide. We're still going to get there, but we want to make this transition smooth, you know? That's what the 7 of Wands is coming up as, with the 3 of Pentacles fading into the 3 of Pentacles. I feel like you're building something, and energies are coming in to support you 100%, and that's why you're being called to root. I see a lot of ideas as well, so pay attention to these ideas that are coming in, these little nudges. Maybe I should put my money into this, maybe I should take this course, maybe I should build this, maybe I should get on this side of social media, maybe I should you know, head to the gym, maybe I should save up money to get that car, or to put that deposit for the home. I know I haven't got a home in mind yet, but if I start saving now, like, there's that type of intuitive nudges that I'm getting. I hope it makes sense. So pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. Oh, we have rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. I'm gonna pop that there. Pile number, 2 cards just flopped out for me. Your energy is high. The energy of this pile, because I actually had 2 false starts with this pile. Normally when I start, it's just like I'll fall into an energy and, you know, whatever. And I had 2 false starts, and then Spirit was showing me that anchor, me grounding, lowering in, which is quite interesting, because then it's like you're being called to root into that energy too. But I had false starts, like I was getting lots of messages, but I couldn't make sense of it. And I couldn't put it into words. I knew what I was getting, but I could not put it into words because too much was coming through. I hope that makes sense. Like, it was just like, whoa, you know? So it took me a minute to get into the energy. So I feel like energies are high and intense for you guys right now, which would make sense. We're literally in eclipse season. Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. Plant yourself here, of course, rooting in. And Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within destiny. So back of the deck, you have the Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. Okay. Rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. See, I love that card came through, because like I always say, sensuality and that type of energy and the pleasure side, I always say that's connected to the sacral chakra, and that type of energy, that type of frequency, when we tap into that, it acts like a portal. Through that energy, we can birth things into creation, whether we birth creativity, we birth new plans, or we literally birth children. And I had someone comment the other day, and it was like that side of it, like the sacral chakra side, and when I'm talking about birthing, it's like there's nothing spiritual about it, it's just primal. There's spiritual meaning to everything, there's a depth to everything, and yes, it's primal, but at the same time, everything is a frequency, everything is an energy. When we tap into happiness, it can be a portal. When we tap into sadness, it can be a portal. When we tap into our pleasure and we tap into that energy, we are able to birth something into creation. When 2 people come together and they create something, it's a portal. It's a portal of light for a soul to come through into form. And that then is something that's being created. We are created from that same energy, from the universe, from God. So that is, you know, a portal, an energy, and a heightened energy for something to come through. The same way that we can use that creative side, that side of our energy, to birth projects and, you know, add and everything into creation. When we create, we're creating new life. We're opening a portal. Because when we create, you know, paintings and music, that sparks somebody else, that creates a portal in somebody else to go create something else. And that's exactly what the universe is. That's exactly what God is. That's exactly what, you know, the God source is, however you call it, universe, God source. That is what it all is. That's where we stem from. It's creation, it's nature, it's everything. And we can look at it like, it's not spiritual, it's just earth growing, or it's just, but when you look at it deeper, it's a creation, you know? And I love that that's come there, because it's making me think of like a portal of energy for a lot of creative nudges, energies to just download and come through. And that's where I see your energy right now. You may also be having, I want to say the word hiccups, in terms of your solar plexus and sacral chakra, feeling very strong. Like I keep being shown like zigzags, like nothing feels straight. So it's like 1 minute I'm having a surge of confidence, the next minute I'm kind of doubting myself, then I'm having a surge of confidence again, and then I'm doubting myself. Or I'm having all of these ideas and I want to be seen and it's like amazing, and then the next minute I'm doubting, I don't want to be seen at all. Like I don't want anyone to project onto me. I don't want that. And then it's changing again. And it's the same in regards to the sacral energy. I feel like you may be feeling a flood of energy there. I'm not going to go too deep into that because YouTube's very, but we all know what the sacral chakra connects to, so you may be feeling floods of energy there. You're being called to channel that in whatever way, and I'm being told for you guys, I would go into detail, but I can't on YouTube. But maybe I'll write a blog about it at one point on my website. But I would say to meditate on your sacral chakra if you're feeling that heightened energy, and see how you can use it in the physical. And then plant yourself here, which of course is talking about you rooting and grounding yourself in to know where to put those energies. My cats are feeling the eclipse intensities running around. That was Padme. And then we have Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and destiny, which is where I feel like those downloads are coming through. It's kind of like an upgrade, which is like anchoring you into the physical, because again I was being shown that anchor at the beginning, so it's like I'm grounding into the physical, I'm bringing something into the physical, I'm tailoring into a certain frequency. Because a lot of the times, especially if we've gone through like a dark night of the soul, or we've been doing inner work or shadow work, we are again in that kind of shifty energy, but we're transmuting and we're clearing for new frequencies to come in. And once those frequencies really settle and they pop in, we're then kind of placed back into the physical, where the universe starts swirling around us and responding to how we're feeling now on the inside. We've had this new downloaded map, we have these new energies within, and the universe is, you know, as within so without. It's like, oh, we're rooting in, oh, okay, well, let's change the scenery then, you know, let's change all of this. And it's very much what's happening. Like I said, imagine playing a video game and you're building a house and all those things are downloading because you're getting that kind of upgrade. It's almost like the universe is swirling and shifting right now to respond to your inner world, which is where a lot of this abundance is coming from, which is quite interesting that the solar plexus and the sacral chakra are being highlighted, because I feel like there's something to do with work you've been doing in terms of feeling worthy of abundance, feeling worthy of being seen, feeling worthy of having the life that you want, feeling more fluid in your physical body and who you are, you know, your sensual side. There's a reference of feeling more fluid there and open. I keep being shown those two energies are kind of spiraling really fast, like a wheel just going round and round. It's like getting hot, because there's like an activation there. It's quite interesting, but I feel like they have something to do with it. So if you've been healing in regards to matters of the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, that's what's really, really helping this phase. And it would also make sense with the water of the river, because water is the element of the sacral. So that's quite interesting as well. So yeah, I see you on a rite of passage. And it's something, an energy and work that you've kind of like put into yourself that's being returned with this Justice card, which is really, really beautiful. So that is what I have for you, pal number one. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what guidance and messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So you guys chose the Malachite. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 2, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s, please. Tap me in to the collective of my pile number 2s. Pile 2. Oh. Okay, too many cards flipped over then. Hang on. So we have the 2 of Swords. Guidance for my pile number 2s from the spirit guides. Okay, these cards are just flying away from me. The energies have been a little intense leading up to this eclipse, so bear with me. Pile number 2s, please, spirit guides. It's funny how I can just like feel it in the collective. Like normally things would flow a lot easier, but the energy, I feel ramped up. I feel like a little scattered when I'm tapping in. Feel it myself, but when you feel it on a magnitude, it's like, oh, okay. So just bear with me today. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Guidance from my pile number 2's, spirit guides. Guidance from my pile number 2's, spirit guides. Tap me into my pile number 2's and their guides. What guidance does pile number 2's guidance have? What guidance does pile number 2's guides have for them? That was a tongue twister. We have the 4 of Wands. What guidance does pile number 2's guides have for them? King of Pentacles. Pile number 2. Three of Wands. And the back of the deck you have the Ace of Wands. Okay. If you hear little noises, that's Padme, she's playing. 2 of Thoughts, 4 of Vibes, King of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Okay. So the first thing that I want to say, and it's coming up quite strongly, is I want to reference a time period. And I want to say, because I keep being shown Buzz Lightyear, and I kind of want to reference that you're light years away from who you were back then. So I don't know what time period that would be significant with. Maybe you guys have been thinking back to a certain time period. Maybe it'll come to me like with more of an explanation as I get through the reading. But I keep wanting to reference, like, you have grown so much. I keep being shown a rite of passage you would have gone through, and I'm being told you've grown, you've evolved. And it's like, not even just like, oh, on the outside you're different or whatever. It's like, no, it's inside, it's internal. It's the way that you respond to things. It's the way that you approach things. It's the way your consciousness has expanded, your mind has expanded. I kind of want to reference to you how much you've grown and how much you've evolved. And I want to keep pouring that into you, because there's a reference of you not seeing sometimes the growth that you've done. It's almost like I'm going back to an old version of me, or I'm looking at certain scenarios in my life through an old mindset, and it's almost like I'm making myself feel a little bit small, or I'm selling myself short a little bit, or I'm making myself feel inadequate in some ways. But it's like I'm looking through an old wound. It's like, you know how imagine like a building collapsed and you've just created a new building, but every so often you may find like a shard of like the old, and it's there, and you're like, oh, there's like that little piece of glass, or there's that little piece of brick, like, or whatever it could be. There's kind of like a reference of that. Like, I've got this brand new building, it's clean, it's new, but maybe like on every 3 floors there's like a tiny shard of glass or a tiny brick, or there's just something, you know, as like a kind of like memorabilia. And you're being called every time these feelings come up to really sit with them, because I'm hearing the word really strongly, reparenting. And like I'm thinking of like, what are people gonna say about me? Or like, if I go out into this scenario, or I head out and people see me, like, what if they project this onto me? Or I'm thinking back to like old connections, and it's like feeling a little bit of like inadequacy. It's very connected to like my worth, it feels, or what I'm worthy of, or my abilities, and what, like, it's almost, what is this feeling? What's the feeling I'm being put into? It's almost like me at my most vulnerable, or me at my most open. Like, I feel like I'm saying something like, I'm going on a trip with people and I like to pack heavy because I like to have this and this. Or maybe I'm just bougie and I like to have a bunch of things. And then someone's like, why are you packing that much? And it's like, I almost like I'm shaming myself then. It's like triggering this feeling of shame. Like, oh my God, why am I packing that much? Instead of standing in it like, you don't need to pack that much, but I need to. Like, I need this and this and this. I almost feel like I'm, oh my God, should I not do this? And it's almost like I'm tailoring myself, because it's like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't have this much. Now I feel stupid. And it's almost like it's like a shame feeling, but it's also like I feel a bit stupid. I feel a little bit like, am I doing it wrong? Am I human in wrong? Like, you know what I mean? I don't even think that's a word, but it's like, am I human in wrong? Like, am I wrong in this? Like, is it wrong that I want that dessert? You know what I mean? I feel like people are like questioning these little things that I'm doing, which And it's almost like I'm taking it to heart because of, and then I'm going down to a route and I'm being shown maybe like a parental figure, maybe in school, and people like projecting or like, you can't do this, you can't do that, and almost shaming you for maybe having needs or feelings or wants or desires. And then I'm being taken to like connections as you get older, whether it's like friendships or relationships, and feeling afraid to like speak up for your needs or wants or take up space because it's like, what if I'm doing that wrong? Like, you know, what if people don't like that, or what if people don't like me doing this or doing that? Like, I think I need to just tailor myself in. It's coming from a wound, but I'm being told that wound you've been clearing and working through. I'm literally being shown like it's like a tall thin branch, but then around it is like brambles and brambles and brambles, and you've already cleared the brambles, and I feel like you've cleared the branch going all the way down. I feel like we're at the roots, and there's a reference to because I feel like something's heightened right now, like I'm saying something or I'm getting out there and I'm doing things, and then people are saying something to me, and then I feel like I want to fold over. I feel like I feel ashamed or embarrassed that I like this or that I want that. But I'm being told that you've been on a journey, as well as shedding the old and projections or whatever it is that people have placed onto you. I also feel that you've been on a blooming journey where you've been getting to know yourself and your likes and your dislikes and what you really like and the pace you like to move at and how you like to pack for a trip, you know, whatever it is. So it's like that there's a reference in really standing in that, and when those feelings come up and those, I feel like it might not be projections for some of you guys, people still might be trying to project, but I feel like in just in everyday life, like you may get people like, why are you doing this, why are you doing that, and you're being called to look at that as a invitation, because they're asking like, why are you doing this, why are you packing this much, why are you doing this. It's almost like I'm looking at that as an invitation of like, oh, you didn't hear about my needs, these are my needs, I like to have this, I like to pack this much for a trip, or I like to wear this much perfume, or I like to do this in my mornings, or I like to drink this drink, or I like to do that. It's almost like I'm looking at it as an invitation for, these are my needs, this is what I like to do, nice to meet you, this is a version of me you haven't met, I'm bougie, I like to bring 3 duffel bags on a trip, you know what I mean, or I love to have really strong smelling perfumes, or I love to go for a jog at 6 o'clock in the morning. If that's not you, that's fine, but I love to do it, you know what I mean. And it's like, look at it as an invitation. It's almost like a springboard of like, I'm putting my hand out, I'm being shown like a handshake, and it's like, nice to meet you, you haven't met this version of me yet. Because I feel like as you're welcoming in these beautiful versions of yourself, like I said, you're light years away of where you were whenever this phase would have started. You're like a completely different person, completely different shade, different flavor, different scent, different person. People are now meeting you for the first time, and you're probably going to get from people around you that are used to you, why are you doing this? Why have you started doing that? What's going on? And I feel that like almost shame of being seen, like, like maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I shouldn't do that, maybe I am being too much, but that's you. And you yourself are welcoming that version of you for the first time. So now it's time for that version of you to meet other people. So while you may feel those feelings of like shame, of like, oh my God, like, you know, why am I ordering that much food? Or why have I got so much energy? Instead of feeling that shame, we want to rejoice. That's me. That's what I like to do. These are the things that I like to do. Nice to meet you. This is a new version of me. And standing in it and feeling proud of these little quirks that before you would have repressed, because you're now meeting them for the first time, or for the first time in a long time. You're greeting them back, and maybe some of them are being birthed and they never had the chance to before, so they were kind of waiting under the soil, but you've cleared everything, and these versions of you are coming out. Your likes and dislikes and connections, relationships, they're coming out, and you're being called to rejoice in that and enjoy that and shine them out, and not let, why are you doing this, why are you doing that, why are you going to bed at 9 p.m. every night? I like my rest. I'm one of those people that likes to rest. If you want to see me bright and early tomorrow, get some rest. Like there's that feeling of like you're learning to tailor your life now to you, and have your own set of boundaries of this is me. I feel like for a long time you've tailored yourself to others, and I feel like for a long time you've listened to everybody else's needs, and it stopped you, one, from feeling seen by other people, because people haven't been able to see the real you, because it's almost like you've kept it hidden, which is a trauma response that wasn't your fault. And the fact that you've taken the time to clear those wounds, look them in the eye, which is heavy, especially when it comes to repressing our own needs and self-sacrificing for others. That's a heavy wound to clear, and I see you clearing that, working through it. I see you putting, with the King of Pentacles, it's like I'm putting all of this energy into motion. Everything's blooming, everything's growing. I'm stepping into who I'm meant to be, or who I always was. It's coming out, I'm blooming. And I feel like now you're going to start really feeling seen by people, because people are going to really see you. They're going to really see who you are. I feel like at times you felt very misunderstood, because people have maybe projected. I feel like sometimes without realizing it, and again, it's a trauma response, I feel like you've filtered yourself to other people's energies. So because you filtered yourself to other people's energies, it's almost like people have felt, well, like attracts like, and if I would move this way, you would too. So then they've projected their version of life, or their version of people onto you, themselves onto you, and then you feel really misunderstood. I don't like that. I don't like to do these things, or I'm not that type of person. But it was them, but they were projecting it onto you, and it's like the person inside of the shell wasn't seen. Whereas now I feel like you're popping out of the shell, and it's like, I move at this pace, and I like to do these things, and these are the things that I enjoy, and these are the things that I like to do. And it's like a blooming, and people are then able to see those beautiful sides of you. And I keep being shown that. It's almost like my heart, because I keep being shown a shell, and then the heart's really hidden in the shell, whereas I keep being shown now like the heart covering the shell. It's almost like the heart's like out here so people can see parts of you. So I see people seeing you more clear, but I feel like you're going through, probably right now and over the next couple of months, a growth period where you're getting adjusted to really being seen for all your quirks and needs and feelings. And that's where there's going to be that vulnerable feeling, because it's almost like it's on a defense. People are seeing that version of you for the first time. The last time somebody saw that version of you, maybe you felt the need to repress it, or maybe you felt the need to hide it. You know what I mean? Or maybe the version of you that people are seeing now, it was so hidden because you were telling yourself, I need to hide these, and I need to morph into what's around me to keep myself safe. But you've already cleared that, and now people are going to see these beautiful sides. But I just see those feelings of, should I hide this away? Should I hide this away? I feel like inadequate. I that's how I feel. I literally feel inadequate, or I feel like I'm not doing things right. Like, I'm not doing things right, wanting to eat that type of food, or order this type of food, or I'm not doing things right in buying that type of car, or driving this way to work, or speaking in this tone, or moving at this pace. You know, it's like I see somebody like rushing ahead and then like looking back at you, and it's like you're learning that your pace is a little slower, and then it's almost like I'm feeling the shame that I'm not walking faster, but that isn't even my pace. And, you know, I'm not projecting onto that person for walking faster. That's how they want to work. So it's like, why do I feel like I need to tailor to them? They're not tailoring to me. I don't, you know what? It's like, there's that type of feeling. It's like, instead of questioning it, is there something wrong with me, and putting a piece of myself away, it's like, no, this is a beautiful part of me. I like to stroll, you know, I like to walk. It's reminding me of I have a friend called Sam, and he's a very like busy beaver, like travels everything. I've probably mentioned him in a reading for you guys before, and he is like fast walker. He's tall, so he's like fast walker, like zooms. And then I have a friend, her name's Nai, and she strolls. Like, she literally, well, we could be in danger and she just flows. You know what I mean? Sam's a Leo with loads of Sagittarius in his chart. My friend Nai is a Cancer stellium. She just strolls and takes her time. Sam's like fire. I'm somewhere in the middle, but it's making me think of those two and just like the different frequencies. Neither of them are wrong or right. They're just moving at that pace. So there's a reference of standing in that feeling of like, I'm walking at this pace and this is my pace, or I'm eating these type of foods because these are my type of foods. I don't need to feel, or I want to go on holiday here or do these type of activities because that's what I like to do, not like, oh, I shouldn't be doing these because people are making me feel, or people are questioning why I'm doing it, and then I feel embarrassed. It's like, no, these are things I like to do. I like to visit museums when I go on a trip. I like to do these things when I go on a trip. This is my thing, you know? And standing in it and not feeling insecure about it, because, I keep hearing that Selena Gomez song, Who Says, and the lyrics, you've got every right to a beautiful life. I'm hearing that. So there's a reference there, and you're being called to use these moments of, Should I hide away as an invitation to greet whoever it is around you with this new version of you? You might not get it, but this is my own needs, and me standing in these needs and doing something different is showing me where I've grown, and I'm now in touch with this side of myself, and that's beautiful. Nice to meet you. I've grown. This is beautiful. I couldn't see this root before. You know, this wasn't budding before, and now it's come out, and I know that this is something that I like to do. I'm not going to feel ashamed for it. Nice to meet you. This is a new version of me, you know? Or this is the true version of me. And that's what I see happening over the next couple of months. So those little wounds are going to come up. Those little wounds will come up. But you want to use them as like a springboard, you know? This is a new version of me. A new opportunity, Ace of Vibes. Yeah, this is a new opportunity. This is a new version of me. These are the pathways I walk on. Nice to meet you. And I see you feeling more understood then, you know? And meeting people that are like you too, because they can see you then. Pile number 2, please, Spirit Guide. You've done so much work on yourself in kind of reparenting. And I feel like this is an opportunity as well to reparent yourself. Like, this is a beautiful aspect of you. Why are you hiding it? This is a beautiful aspect of you. Like, showcase that, be proud of it, put on that show. Like, this is almost like championing your inner child for those little needs that are coming up and those feelings that are coming out, no matter how big or small. It's like champion that inner child and reparenting your inner child. You know, that's really what's happening here. Pile number 2, please, Spirit Guides. Guidance from pile number 2, Spirit Guides. We have the Wild Rose. Do it your way. Yeah, do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness, Untamed, of course. Pile number 2, we have Rapture, Sensuality, Love, Devotion, Romance, Ecstasy, and Pleasure. One more card, please, Spirit Guides. One more card. Oh. And we have Come to Me. I might have to cover her, actually. Let me cover her. Attracted like a rose, receive abundance desires. I have to put that one there. And then, did I just hear a cat? No, must have been me. And then we have the Sacred Waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care, which I feel is what you've been doing for these versions of yourself to pop out and come out and spring out like that, you know? I feel like you're in a very spring phase in your life, and I see this just growing. Like, I'm being shown like an empty garden, and it just growing and growing and growing and growing. You know, when you buy a new house and you don't know how you want to decorate it yet and everything's empty, and then you have that like beautiful task. Some people might not find it beautiful, I do, but it's like that beautiful task of like, what aesthetic is this room gonna have, and what type of vibe is this room gonna have, and what ornaments can we get, and you know, the carpets and the walls and the lamps and everything. It's like, oh, how is it gonna go? Like, I feel like you're in that phase of your life. These are the foods that I like. This is the type of hairstyle that I like. This is my signature scent. This is, you know, the way that these are the things I like to do for fun. I feel like you're understanding and learning yourself. And it's really, really beautiful. And that's why we have Do It Your Way, embrace your uniqueness, Untamed. Anytime somebody doesn't get what you're doing or understand or resonate, take that as a pat on the back that you are successfully tapping into your individuality, who you are, your uniqueness, your own path, your needs. Take that as a pat on the back that you've tapped into that and you understand that, because maybe in the past you might have folded that piece in and maybe morphed with somebody else, or morphed into the other person, or that person could have projected, that's wrong. And then you could have hidden it away and told yourself that that version, you know, that thing that you were doing was wrong, when in actuality, that was a big part of you. You've already grown and evolved to be welcoming these parts into you. So anytime someone, you know, projects, or why are you doing this? Why are you, you know, waking up at this time? Or why are you going to bed at this time? That's your thing. That's your thing. That's you. You know what I mean? That's your character. That's what you do. You know what I mean? And that's beautiful. And we want to rejoice into that. And then with sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure, it's like falling in love with yourself again. Understanding yourself. Understanding all of these things that make you tick, all of these things that you love. Tapping into those sides of you. And, you know, what do you find pleasure in? What do you love? You know, what does excite you and activate those energies? I feel like that's the journey that you're on right now. And you're being called anytime those feelings come up when people project, just use it as a pogo stick. This is me. This is me. Nice to meet you. And then come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires. When we fully acknowledge our needs, we can put them out there, and we're more open and understanding to more open and susceptible to them coming back. Because it's like, when we know our needs, we know what to look for. When we don't know our needs and we repress them, we don't know what we like. And it's like one of those things where when you think of a yellow car, you see 100 yellow cars, you know, because it's like your brain's looking for it. When you are looking for a healthy relationship and you understand what the healthy relationship is for you, you see it everywhere. Whereas before, you wouldn't have been able to see it. And that's what I see. I see a lot of newness in regards to your palette, just like walking, you know, through life, social media, people's connections, what people wear, what people are into. It's almost like a new palette is coming in, because you're recognizing those beautiful parts of yourself in other people, and it's drawing you to like-minded individuals as well. That's what I'm being told. So pile number 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pal 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what guidance and messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So you guys chose the amethyst. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move into your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. You know, sometimes I reference Doctor Who. I know like 97% of you probably don't watch it, but they're showing me an image while I tap into your energy. And basically, in the 3rd season of Doctor Who, at the end of one of the seasons, the sky has like a rift, and it opens, and these beings flow through. They were called the Toclafane, but they flow through. Like, it's like a rift in the sky. It literally looks like there's fires above. Like the ferment opens or whatever it's called, and it's like all these alien robotic things just fly through into our world. And that's what I'm being shown energetically when I tap into you guys. But it's making me think, because I keep being shown in my mind's eye, and this is so vivid, which is making me think that your psychic abilities are probably very enhanced right now. I keep being shown so strongly in my 3rd eye, the High Priestess, and I'm thinking of like downloads, ushering energies through. And there's a strong reference right now. It's almost like everything has a purpose. Everything that I'm doing has a purpose right now. And I'm ushering frequency. It's like, that wasn't a coincidence. Maybe in the past you would have looked at something and gone, that was a coincidence, or that was just a little message. I kind of want to pass on to you, no. That was guidance. That wasn't a coincidence. That happened because of this. And it's almost like everything that I'm doing, I'm set in the intent. Like, I'm bringing stones from the beach to ground in and connect to those ocean energies and root in. That's an intent. I'm blessing my water before I drink it. There's like intent going into everything that I'm doing. The colors that I'm wearing, the jewelry that I'm wearing, the side of the hands that I'm wearing it. Like, and there's a reference of that. I'm moving with purpose, because I keep being shown, everything's just channel in a minute, so let me put the cards down. I keep being shown literally a human being, right? And mental, physical, spiritual all together. And it's like, normally this is like a hardened, like the body is like a hardened clay. That's how it's being shown to me. Not necessarily the physical body, but the energetic body, the spiritual body, the emotional body. It's like an energetic clay. And it's, now that I'm looking at you, it's almost like this ferment is like opened, like this, it's like a portal energetically. It's no longer clay, it feels like jelly, and I can move it. So it's not necessarily like water, like I'm in just my light body and that's it, but it's jelly. So it's still condensed and it's still physical, but we're able to mush it around and move it around. There's more room for fluidity. And if you think of the difference between clay and jelly, if you think about it like a sentient energy, jelly is going to be able to absorb and pick up a lot more than clay. So there's a reference there of like you being more susceptible to energies, frequencies, messages from spirit. And I keep being shown okay, I'm almost being shown you like in a lab, and your 3rd eye has like wiring tied into a bigger machine, And your crown chakra has a wire in tied into a bigger machine. And your throat is essential here as well, in your heart space. So the higher chakras, basically, they're all tied in. I mean, they all are, but it's the higher chakras we're talking about. I see the wiring being taken out, like the tubes, because it's like a tube. Like, you know when you have a tube that like feeds you when you can't eat when you're in hospital? It's like a tube. That tube's being taken out, it's being discarded, another one's being put in, and now energy's being pumped through. So it's like I'm being topped up. And I keep being shown sparks of energies, like they're like little gold flint sparks, like, you know when you have a sparkler, a firework, and it's like a shoot, it's kind of like that, just in your energy, making me feel like I'm being topped up and being activated. But my third eye feels very open. I would say for you guys right now, to really meditate, and I would really say right now for you guys to really sit and take advantage of the, I want to say the word cosmic alignment, that word just came through, to take heed of the energies that are being downloaded and being passed through, because I almost feel like there's a ripening, there's like an activation in your higher chakras, your spiritual gifts, your awareness, you know what I mean, the expansion of your minds. And it's almost like I want to have you sit in a quiet room, a dimly lit room, and I want you to feel into everything that's coming through, because whether you're realizing it or not, I see a lot of expansion in your higher chakras. I see downloads, I see spiritual upgrades. Some of you guys may be feeling super sleepy, others of you may be feeling very wired at night and just up all night. Either way, I feel like it's going to be different than usual. So if you're somebody that when you get downloads or when you go through some sort of shift, you're super tired, you're probably feeling really wired and up and not wanting to move about. If you guys are used to being really like full of energy, I see it being the other way, and you guys just feeling really tired and not wanting to do much. But there's this reference of allowing things to flow. And I do find that sometimes when, because I've been feeling it myself today, sometimes when we allow things to flow and like channel through and we get downloads, other areas of our life, it can feel like we have brain fog and we can't really put two and two together because there's so much going on energetically we're not seeing. We have that kind of brain fog where it's like, I kind of feel like I'm not really here. Like I kind of feel like nothing's really making sense, or things aren't coming out of my mouth in the best way. That's what I see in your energy field. So there's this reference to really sit and fall back in the energy you're in right now and really take heed and take notes of anything that's coming through, because even if you're not picking up literal messages, I feel like there's a lot going on in your energy field. And there's a reference to either be out in nature, bodies of water, or just be really chilling out. Like I just want you guys to like chill out and fall back so you can be in that state of receiving. Because I see for you guys over the next couple of months, your psychic gifts and your psychic ability is really growing. They're being activated, and I see gifts that were dormant before coming through. Mediumship is a really big one, because I literally just got shown an energy right in front of me, like coming up to me. Mediumship's really big, and I'm also being told remote viewing. And it also says a lot that with you guys' energy, I have not felt the need to pull cards yet, because it's just flowing and channeled through. You feel very open, you know. That normally happens for me when somebody's energy is very open, and that is how I feel tapping into you guys. So I'm going to pull cards, but that was the guidance that came through. Yeah, it's like I don't want to do anything, and this is why I didn't want to pull the cards, because I'm in that frequency where I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything outside of myself. I just want to be chilling out. Some of you guys may be getting really hot in your body as well. Like I literally feel like my body is heating up and I'm really hot, which is like a lot of energy is coming through. Like that's kind of how I feel. So pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Guidance from pile number 3, spirit guides. You have the 6 of Thoughts. I just knocked the mic then. Hopefully that didn't do anything. We have the 2 of Vibes. Pile number 3. Let me know how the mic is as well, by the way, guys, because I wasn't using my mic for a little bit because I think it had like water damage, but I tried it over the weekend and it was fine. But let me know, because I can play about and see if I can get it more crisp for you guys, because this is my first time putting it on again. Page of Thoughts, 8 of Cups, and the back of the deck is the Page of Vibes. Okay, the 6 of Thoughts, the 6 of Swords, 2 of Wands, Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Okay. You know, if you've been thinking back to a specific person recently, or you've been thinking back to old time periods, please let it flow out. Something's being flushed for some of you guys. It doesn't feel connected to the heart space though. It feels connected to the solar plexus. That's where it feels like it's connected to. And there's a clear in there. And I almost feel like, because I'm being shown a card from some of you guys to other people, but it doesn't have to be a partner. It can be like a family member or friendships as well. And I'm being shown a card, and I keep being shown the tubes and the flushing and the flushing until that card, it's super loose. And then this is going to be so specific, only take this if it resonates. And I know for some of you guys it might sound a little bit out there, but this is literally what's coming through. I'm being shown that card becoming super loose to the point that it will cut. I see some of you guys over the next 2 months getting the intuitive nudge to do something, whether energetically or physically, that is going to act as the severed, like cutting that cord. And it's not you going out and going, me and this person, sick of thinking of them, I'm going to cut it, because it's going to come at a time where that cord's so loose and fragile, you're not thinking of this person at all. Right now you might be. It's going to be so, you're not thinking about it, and I just see you doing something one day, and I'm not being told what it is, but it's something you're like intuitively instructed to do physically, or maybe energetically, and it severs it, but I'm not being told what that is. It could be a little wound that comes out and you're like, oh, this wound, and you don't think it's attached, and you clear it, and then it's like cut. That was the cord cutting, that was the knife. There's something there coming through. I literally feel like I'm doing a chakra map reading, but like the energy map reading, but without the paper. That's how I feel, because I'm being shown it in my mind's eye and going to your energy. So there's a cord somewhere that's being flushed right now. It's being affected by this flush that's going on. It's cleansing your solar plexus, this cord to this other person. It's between the solar plexus and the heart chakra. So it would have been, whatever this wound is to this person, it started in the heart space. There was a wound that would have happened in the heart space. It would have spilled and affected your solar plexus, so your own worth. This person and this wound and this cord then came in between that, the solar plexus and the heart space. You've been clear in the heart space, you've been clear in the solar plexus, so this cord is there. So this flush that's happening, it's making that cord super light, that it's like this stringy, weak, wire. And there's something you're going to do, whether it's something you look at in the eye, a feeling that you quickly purge out. It feels very light. You're not even going to realize that it's happening, or there's something you're physically doing. Maybe you start working with a specific herb, or there's something that you activate within your own energy that completely cuts that tie. That tie then ends up being cut. But I see you being none the wiser. It's like you didn't realize, and then there's just like no real thinking back or those feelings towards that person. That's what I'm being shown there. Here, because I'm thinking of the Two of Wands, and I'm thinking of like sometimes when I'll do like a card cutting, if I was to use like candles and stuff. I don't do it that way anymore, but when I used to, I would have 2 candles that were lit, and I'd lace them, and then I'd have like a string, and then I'd burn the middle of burn the candles, and then it would burn the string. But I'm being shown that with the 6 of Swords, but I see it energetically happening, which is quite interesting. Some of you guys might go to someone and have a card cutting, but I don't feel it's that. That's more so you. So I'm being shown that happening over the next couple of months. So if you've been thinking back to someone, just feel into it. Just let them pass. Just let those energies come out. Why am I clicking my fingers? I feel like I'm laying in bed, or I'm sitting in an upright position, and I'm getting shoots and sparks of energy. And I'm being told to really like feel into it and sit with it. This feels like an energy reading. I feel like I need to sit with it, and these jolts are coming through, the sparking. And what are they though? I'm being told to fall back and feel into them, but what are they? You know how sometimes our physical body can accumulate energy, like condensed energy in our body? That's how it feels. I'm being told to just allow these little feelings and emotions to come out. I feel like I want to bend my body. It reminds me of like a Kundalini awakening, where you have those jolts of energy and surges of energy coming through, and then you need to bend your body in specific places and movements. That's how this feels. And I feel like I want to listen and just jolt my body, and bits of frustration, bits of anger, bits of happiness, it's bits of shame, and it's like coming up and I'm just feeling it. I'm being shown that as well. There's definitely a clear out happening. Your energetic body and spiritual body, like that side of you, is in a state of flux right now. And I almost am being shown, because I'm thinking of like Missing Piece. I'm thinking of, if you've ever watched Twitches, it was like a movie with Tia and Tamara, and one of them had a sun necklace and one of them had a moon necklace, and they were separated at birth. And it's making me think of the sun, the moon, like I'm thinking of like the spiritual side of you, the emotional side of you with like the physical side of you. And I'm being told what's happening right now is they're being braided together, they're being like put back together, which is creating this kind of like expansion in your energy, and you're waking up to gifts that were quote unquote dormant because you weren't as connected to them in the physical, and now it's happening. So what I'm actually being shown with you is the jelly energy, like that merging, because it's like two parts of you merging together. That's why I'm actually being shown the clay body being merged with the jelly, and it kind of like molding together. And that's where I feel like there's an activation and all these gifts have come through, but really I was just aligning back into my physical body. So while it feels like I'm going through an awakening, I'm going through this, you know, spiritual shift, in actuality you're rooting back into your body. You're rooting back into your physical body in a more heightened sense. That's how it's coming through. And anything that was stagnant is being pushed up to be cleared, which is the tubes. We're flushing it out before it happens. Honestly, the way you're being shown to me is like Avatar. If you've ever watched Avatar, let me just do this a minute. Okay. If you've ever watched Avatar, and they're in the blue avatar bodies, the Na'vi, they're in like that little science room and they're like being scanned and checked up on. I literally see you there energetically right now. So physically you're just going about your everyday life, but energetically you're there right now, and this energy's being pumped in, and you know, frequencies being shifted out, and you're just like, why am I thinking of this person, or why am I so tired, or why can't I sleep, or what is going on? A shift is happening. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of frequency changes, which has been a theme throughout the reading. Yeah, so let's pull your oracle cards. Please don't overload yourself right now. That is a request. Do not overload yourself right now. Feel into anything that's coming through. When it's passing through, do not feel ashamed of, you know, the frustration you're feeling towards someone, or the anger you're feeling towards someone, or you know, the hurt that you're feeling. Why am I thinking of this again? Please don't feel ashamed of it. Let it flow through. I hope everything's making sense, because I'm going to be honest, for this reading, I don't know if it's the eclipse energies affecting myself too, or just the collective and we're all feeling it, but I am struggling to put words to channel messages. Like, this feels strong. And I never get that. Like, I'll know that something feels strong, but I never have it affect my readings like this. But I can feel, like, you know. And as I'm doing your reading, I feel really warm. Like, really hot. So we have the grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. There's psychic gifts that your family line have had open, and they've been repressed. And I feel like you're finally activating them. There's, you know how we say like generational karma, and we think of like generational wounds and generational like baggage and hurts and things, and even, you know, certain things in regards to our health can be passed down genetically. Sometimes, like, let's just say financial abundance or spiritual gifts or heightened awareness, like that can also be repressed. There's almost like a lever happening where it's shooting through. So that's why the energy is going into like a jelly-like state, because it's like I'm being tailored into a different frequency now, you know? I'm tapping into the roots. This isn't just the roots of your physical body. This is the roots of your ancestral lines. And that goes far back. That's not just like, 500 years ago. Like, that goes back. That goes back to Atlantean times, like that goes back. Back. That's what I see you tapping into, which is why it feels so strong. Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. All those downloads and abilities that I see you getting, those psychic abilities, creative downloads, whatever it is, I feel like over the next 6 to 8 months, That's what I'm being told. There's a reference on the number 8, but it could be being taken to August. There's a reference of you setting something in stone by the time the energy is at 100%. Like by the time everything feels topped up, or you've gotten used to these frequencies and energies. I see you being ushered somewhere. So it could be, especially with psychic gifts, you could be ushered into an area where you work with your psychic gifts and you put them out there and you help people spiritually, in the healing professions and things like that. Again, it could be like the creative side of spirituality and the healing side. So that could be making music, making, writing books, creating movies, things like that, cinematography, taking photographs, photography, like all of that. But then yeah, I almost feel like I'm ushered, like you're being placed somewhere later on down the line in a position of, I can use this power. And again, I'm being taken to the High Priestess. So I feel like you're being ushered physically somewhere. Like you're like almost like waking up to a calling. That's how it feels coming through. Pile number 3, the fertile void, inner writer, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. And the back of the deck, you have the second bloom. A second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. So the fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. I literally see you guys going, tapping into the frequency of the hermit, the high priestess, going into a state of, I'm downloading, I'm resting, I'm tailoring my energy to bring something to fruition later down the line. I feel like you're being pulled onto a different path, aligned with a different path, where these gifts are able to come through stronger. It's like these gifts are coming through because they're needed for something different, for something else, for another path. That's how that feels with the back of the deck. Because the second bloom, I'm thinking of like another pathway. So there's a method to the madness. But I'm not really being... Everything feels very like... I'm being shown so many colours and frequencies and auras and energies. And even... Because when I sit in an energy, I'll take it on. So the way I'm feeling in your energy is... I don't want to even pass on information. I want to sit in the feeling and do whatever my body's guided to. So I kind of want to pass that on to listen to what your body's guided to do right now. Whether it's not watching pick of cards, you know what I mean? Not watching readings and tapping into that. Or not doing readings for others if that's what you've already been doing. Or not being so extroverted right now. Or having lay-ins and having more rest. There's a reason your body is feeling the need to do that. So there's a reference to listen to that really, really strongly. Yeah, so pile number 3, I know that this was probably all over the place. I really hope I was able to root myself in and bring what needed to come through. I hope I made sense of where your energy's at right now. This felt more like an energy reading than anything else of like, this is what's going on. But I hope I was able to give you some clarity as to where your energy's at right now. I hope I was able to bring, the right guidance through in a way that made sense. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it resonated. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.